Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. How are you? I hope you are enjoying the best of health. I welcome you in my class. That is English for grade 3. We are learning Unit 8. Its title is Grandpa's Garden. My dear fellow teachers, this lesson plan, PowerPoint presentation and worksheet links are given. You may click it, download it, follow it as it is, or modify it for your convenience. So we are going to learn under the title of grammar, we learn simple past tense. Before this, in Unit 2, I have taught you about verb. I hope you remember what are verbs. If not, you will watch this video lecture again, and we are going to learn further to identify and use the structure of simple past tense for completed actions with or without mention or specific time. This is our today's essay. Let's start with the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah mentions in Quran, Surah Al-Kahf, verse 39. If only you had said upon entering your property, this is what Allah has willed. There is no power except with Allah, even though you see me inferior to you in wealth and offspring. Yes, my dear students, Beta, what this beautiful verse is telling us. Basically, in Surah Al-Kahf, there is a conversation among two people, two men. One entering his property, his garden was full of praise. Wow, look at my garden, how beautiful it is. There are a lot of fruit, and this is how he mentioned his garden. And the other person, the other man who was listening, he replied by these words. He said, only if you have, because whatever we have, even if it is our property, we don't have any control. The ultimate control is in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's hand. That's why we should, whatever we have, we should be happy for that, alhamdulillah. And whatever we don't have, we should do sabr on that, and we should not be upset. So he said, though my garden, my property is inferior to you, but I think the way you are mentioning your garden, instead of saying that, you should have said, by entering in your property, this is what Allah has willed. Whatever I got, this is the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So beta, this is a big message for all of us. Whatever happens, it happens with the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? So whatever good happens, we should be happy and we should say alhamdulillah, and whatever less good happens, we should not be upset for that, right? Even then we should say alhamdulillah, because it is Allah's will, right? Now my dear children, look at this one, willed. We have added ed, will and willed. When do we do it and what does it mean? We learn today. Before starting that, tell me, what is a verb? Pause the video, answer this question to your teacher, and then come back. Yes, my dear students, I hope you remember we have learned about verb. So verb is an action word. This is what we already know. Now it refers to time. But a verb is actually an action word which refers to time. And what does time mean? It can be present, it can be past, or it can be future. Now, what does this mean? Look at this. Past is, this is how when you, all of you have been crawling when you were young. So this is your past. Past means a time which has gone. Even though we know the specification of the time, how long back it was like that. If we don't mention, even then we know that this time came in all our life and it has gone, so it is past. Past means the time which has gone, right? This is your present. All of you are studying in grade 3. So this is present, right? And this is your future. When you will be grown up, you will be in high school. Girls will go to girls' high school and boys will go to boys' high school. So this is the time which is to come, which is next to present is future. Do you understand? So past means a time which has gone, present means the current time, and future means the time which will come later. Do you understand? So this is how beta we have 3 times, and how do we differentiate it? By verb, right? We know play. This is a verb we use in present tense. And when we add ed to it, it becomes its past form. So whenever we will talk about an action which has gone, which was completed in time, which has gone, we will use this one. So this is one of the way of making past form, by adding ed to the verb. Do you understand? So we add ed to make its past form. Like, liked. So this is present, this is past, right? In simple past tense, what do we do? Whatever is your subject. We know subject is one who performs the action. So whoever is doing the action, for all subjects, we add ed to make its past form. Start, started, play, played, want, wanted, rain, rained. So when we use this form, it means we are talking about an action which has gone, which is in simple past tense. Okay. So how do we use it? It is raining. It is raining, it's present. But if it rained yesterday, the time has gone, so we will use ed. It rained, right? So this is how we use simple past form of verb in simple past tense. Understand? Okay. Now all of you open your book on page number 64. Let's see what does your book say about it. Simple past tense. Past tense tells us about the events that happened some time ago, right? For example, she arrived at the airport. So this ed is telling us she arrived, she reached at airport in past. I dropped the plate. So this ed is telling us it's past tense. This is how we make it. So what is the sentence structure? How do we complete, how do we construct a sentence? What is the structure of simple past tense? First of all, subject. We write subject. And what is subject? The one who does the work. Then we use verb and its second form. And for one thing, we have learned how to make second form. We add ed and it becomes the past form. Okay, better there are more rules for second form, but for today's lecture, we will just talk about ed form. All right. And then we write the object. What is the object? The one who receives the action. Okay, so how do we make a sentence? First of all, we write the subject. Work is the verb, and by adding ed, we make its second form. I worked hard. So this is the simple past tense. Do you understand? So subject, the one who is doing the action, we write it first, and then verb, the action, by adding ed, it's a second form we choose later, and if there is any object, we write it at the end of the sentence. This is the sentence structure for simple past tense, right? Now look at this. This table is given in your book. This is the base form, and there are different, you see, there are different forms. We'll just talk about the past form. What we have done: look, looked, work, worked, play, played, arrive, arrived. So by adding ed, we make its past form, and for past sentences, we'll just use this ed form verbs, right? Okay, so let's practice it through an activity. It's a very interesting activity. What we are going to do: teacher will show sentences with blanks having main verb in simple present form, and students will fill the blanks with appropriate main verbs in simple past form. And teacher, I request you kindly use only verbs which can be converted into past by adding ed. We teachers know that it's a regular verb, so kindly do this activity by using regular verbs. So pause the video, and all of my children are going to participate, enjoy the activity, and then come back. Yes, my dear students, are you done with it? And now you see how do we like simple present, and we can convert it into simple past. Okay, so it's time to practice from your book. Now all of you open your book on page number 65. Here is question 7 and 8. Very simple. It will be easy for you. You will choose the correct form of verb for these sentences, and you will fill in the blanks by using past tense. So present base form is given to you. You will convert it into past form, and then you will write it over here. So pause the video, complete these questions in your book, and then come back. Yes, my dear children, are you done with it? Good job. Now it's time for your homework. You will write few sentences using simple past tense. And better, now we know simple past tense we use for something which has already happened. So usually we write stories in simple past tense. Means yesterday I went there, this happened, I left, I played, etc. Right? So this is how we can write even a full story. But for now, you will write just a few sentences. And here is a worksheet. Rather, there are two worksheets. One is just for the vocabulary of your verbs, and the other is practice of simple past tense. Teachers, kindly take the prints of these worksheets and provide students these printed worksheets to practice the simple past tense. So what we have learned today, we learned to identify and use the structure of simple past tense for completed action with or without mention of specific time. Yes, my dear children, are you done with it? Yes, and we thoroughly enjoyed doing it. Better keep it in your mind. This is one of important topic for us. So inshallah, tomorrow I'll come again with a very interesting lesson. Till that time, keep learning, keep practicing, take very good care of yourself. Thank you, and Allah.